Hello and welcome to a mini episode of Predictocast, the podcast where we predict the plot of a movie we know nothing about. I'm Josh, and with me, as always, is Skinner. Hey, Skinner.
Hey, everybody. Stan Luna. Does the Twitter still say that all the time? Merry Christmas.
So we are here to reveal the next film that we're covering in this month of holiday treats. So far, month's been going great. But I don't know that for sure because we haven't recorded the episode that you would have heard before this mini episode.
Can we
yet.
just cut that out and drop into every episode you have from now on?
So next week on the show, we are back in TV movie land, but about a decade later than Babes in Toyland, with Borrowed Hearts from 1997, a movie that is not 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
But
it is
the only thing
the appropriate
about this movie,
hour and 31 minutes for a TV movie.
They knew the only thing that needed length in this movie was Eric McCormack's glorious mullet. Holy shit, the lettuce in this guy.
Yeah, it's pretty great looking. It's movie stars Roma Downey and Eric McCormack, both very probably big TV stars, I would say, at this time, because she was on Touched by an Angel at this point, which was going strong.
And he had been on Lonesome Dove, The Outlaw Years.
He wasn't yet on Will and Grace. Interesting.
No, the world only knew him as Colonel Francis Clay Mosby from the Lonesome Dove series.
I could have sworn that show started in like 96 or 97. But
see, why you thought that? Like in 98, he started a TV miniseries called A Will of Their Own, but he wasn't Will yet. He was Pierce Peterson, the hardest name to say.
Oh, I thought it was Pierce Pearson.
Pierce Peterson. Ray Summers is also a good character name. This guy has it all. Kevin Kepler. Holy shit. These guys. This is one great name after another.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he definitely had it. Oh, man, he was in that abysmal Eddie Murphy movie, Holy Man.
Holy shit. It's more like it, right?
Yeah. I would
put that on the blocks, accurate. Baby.
I would say that's accurate. Also, he was in the Highlander TV series as Matthew McCormack.
Wait, what? I bet he had the mullet for that as well.
Ooh, probably.
This is the guy.
He was also in Silk Stockings. Man, he's had a great TV career.
He's got a face for that. But this is the guy who saw the 90s Superman hair and thought, man, I could do that.
Man, I'm looking through his IMDb, and boy, he's had some really good, he's had some great sounding shows. He was in a TV series called Street Justice as Detective Eric Rothman.
Also a great name.
And a show called Neon Rider as Derek, and then a show called The Hat Squad.
He is such a kind of just this guy who just does anything on TV for a decade, and that how would it feel to be such a wanderer, such a a gunslinger for shows that no one gives a shit about, and then all of a sudden you're the fucking man on must-see TV. That has to be just a complete change of life.
I have to say that. So just as we'll talk about more of this in the future, but we're going to be undergoing some changes here on the show, and I feel like there might be a chance for us in our new incarnation to talk about the Hat Squad, because
what is the Hat Squad about? I assume it's
I have to tell you, it's from creator Stephen J. Cannell, who did the Rockford Files and 21 Jump Street and Beretta, and was responsible for that great little logo where he's typing on a typewriter and throws the paper and it becomes part of the logo. The great thing that everybody knows. Greatest American Hero, A-Team. This guy is involved in just about every show that was on television at some point in time. The Hat Squad is a cop and his wife adopt 3 young boys whose parents were cops and or killed in the line of duty. The three boys become the Hat Squad, part of the police department that tries to track down violent offenders while still waiting to avenge their parents' deaths.
As far as if you listen to that and you thought, well, they're considering taking that and doing that in the future for your show, and you thought to yourself, oh, they're changing the format to TV shows you could never do ever again in modern times. You may be somewhat right, but this, holy shit. Why would you adopt three young boys who were caught?
I don't know, but man, it sounds great. It's got James Tolkien in it, the Strickland from Back to the Future.
Do you want a show where there's three guys wearing fun-colored button-up shirts with ties and jeans and trench coats and hats?
I do.
One has an orange shirt, one has a denim shirt, one you can't quite see, but they're wearing ties with jeans, and their hands are in their pockets, so you know they're cool.
I mean, whatever our show does transform into, we will have no shortage of weird content to cover.
Cops with a vengeance.
Hint.
Okay, and here's another shot for this. By the way, Merry Christmas. Cops with a vengeance. When one of their best friends is murdered, the boys want revenge. The Hat Squad. That's not. Is it just like this group of people who just everyone close to them just keeps being killed?
Yes.
I don't want to know these people. I would die. I don't want to know them anyways, but still.
Okay, we got to move on from the Hat Squad, but first, let me read you the first line from this user review. Top review of the Hat Squad. The Hat Squad was a great family cop show that has its place in all of our lives in one way or another.
No, it doesn't. By the way, we are doing Borrowed Hearts.
We are doing Borrowed Hearts with Eric McCormack, who, as far as I know, is not in the Hat Squad, or he is in the Hat Squad. He is in the Hat Squad. That's how we got there.
He's not one of the. He's not one of the main characters. He doesn't play the Hat.
No, he is in one episode, but maybe that's an episode we'll cover at some point in the future whenever we get to it. Anyway, Borrowed Hearts stars Eric McCormack and Roma Downey. Also, Hector Elizondo makes an appearance, which is exciting. He's always a welcome presence in whatever program he appears.
He's a welcome presence on the poster of this movie, where he just is kind of shopped in, looking completely out of place.
He's just leaning. So yeah, the main poster here has Roma Downey and Eric McCormack pushing their heads together, their hair becoming intertwined so that you can't tell where one begins and the other ends.
Because they both have luscious heads of hair, it just kind of molds together. Like at first you think, oh, it's cute, their heads together. And then you realize, have you ever shoved your face against someone's face, like side of forehead, temple to temple, really hard, and stared somewhere else together?
It's very uncomfortable.
It doesn't look comfortable. I'm trying to read his expression because it's not a normal expression. It is not happiness.
It's like conjoined?
It's like he just farted and he knows she can't break her professional face.
Are they conjoined?
I mean, maybe they need to borrow. They need to borrow a heart because they only have one heart between them because they're conjoined.
Yes.
We have to steal that little girl's heart.
Hector Elizondo has to give up his heart at the end.
So the stars of this movie are Roma, Eric, Hector, this little girl, a tree, and this giant house.
Yeah, this McMansion in the background. So we've got them floating in space. We've got some sort of like bokeh light snowfall gradient background behind them. And then beneath them, we've got a big McMansion. We've got a clumsily placed tree. We've got a little girl on ice skates, and we've got Hector Elizondo leaning against something that we can't see.
Frame of the box. He's
the outside of the box.
He is breaking the fourth wall. He's leaning against the fourth wall, straining it.
And there's a tagline here on this poster: "This Christmas, even strangers can become family."
How?
I mean,
blood transfusions. I got another one up where I actually see someone has posted a picture of the DVD menu.
Oh, ooh, does that give us some great things? Like, is trailer one of the options?
Unfortunately, it's just play movie chapters about us, which I've never seen before, and bonus stuff.
Ooh, I wonder what bonus stuff was on this DVD.
It's Feature Films for Families presents. That's a lot of Fs.
Ooh, Feature
Rated
Films
F.
for Families presents. Rated F, yeah.
But yeah, that and it's the same. The girl is completely different picture, but once again, the smushed heads, and they appear to be in front of a pie. And Hector is now not leaning against anything, but he is in exactly the same position.
Yeah, he's it's the same photo of him. I found that one.
I hope the whole movie is just him, like South Park wise. It's just that photo of him, and they just move him around.
They do the his mouth moving. They do the Clutch Cargo Conan O'Brien thing where they just put another person's face
the entire fucking time.
They put another person's mouth over his mouth. There's a couple other which I think were probably the cover art for this DVD, where it's a slightly different photo of Eric McCormack and Roma Downey. They're dressed up very nicely, wearing like he's wearing a tuxedo, she's wearing a nice dress.
She's holding her belly like she's pregnant.
A good point. She's and they're standing together very passionately.
He's still in that same fucking pose.
There is a great looks like a VHS cover that's very bad quality. That's them in the snow.
The giant house.
With a giant house in the background. I think that's Hector Elizondo off to the side in the tuxedo, but it's really hard to tell.
His trademark newsy hat and gray smock.
Yeah.
I would love to. It is such a low quality photograph, but I would love to know what this seal of approval in the bottom corner is.
I think that's probably the family first films or whatever.
Josh, you know what you have to do. You have to Google what that is.
Feature Films for Families. All right, let's see what.
That's
let's
so
see
generic
what comes
that
up.
It might just pull up Feature Films for Families.
Feature Films for Families production. Oh, it's a production company.
What have they produced?
They're still out there. Let's see.
Oh, I wonder if they're like Roma Downey has to like.
Oh no, never mind. They are not.
There.
People also ask, is Feature Films for Families still in business? And it says company has closed and is no longer in operation.
You know that Roma Downey is known for the Bible?
Well, that would make sense because apparently many of Feature Films for Families employees belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Though the company itself made no claim of any religious affiliation. The company is very popular with conservative Christian families.
Just happens to be.
Yeah, just happens to be.
Roma Downey Jr., known for Touched by an Angel, The Bible, Ben-Hur, and Son of God. She's placed Mary twice, 2 years in a row.
Now there is a website called Family TV Online, and it says Feature Films for Families Online. Now, I do not know if this is connected to the company or if this is just someone who has like gotten the
valuable name,
gotten the name. But boy, oh boy, they have quite a lineup of films here. Like, they've got some animated stuff that looks very strange. They've got some, a movie called How I Saved the President. 9-year-old Max Anderson has a big problem. He knows about an evil plot to kill the president, but nobody believes him. Adults usually don't believe in talking dogs, but Max is certain that the tip from a would-be assassin's pet dog is a sure thing.
Just the tip. It's starring a dog.
You have to subscribe to watch this film.
No, thank you.
I'm curious how much it costs to subscribe. Holy shit. $8 a month.
What?
$8 a month.
Too much.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're actually affiliated or not. It's hard to tell. I don't see anything about this particular movie that would make me believe like this movie is not on this streaming site, so it's hard to say that they're affiliated. They just grabbed the name. So I don't know what other films that feature films for families put out, unfortunately.
Speaking of people,
because that's so goddamn generic.
That is so generic. Speaking of people involved with this and putting out, the director of this movie, Ted Kotcheff, was the executive producer of Law & Order SVU for over 12 years. So he went from doing this, which I assume is a lucrative film, to making probably, I don't know, what would you make for being the executive producer of a Law & Order show?
The guy also directed he also directed First Blood and Weekend at Bernie's.
I know. So this isn't our first movie by him, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he did Weekend at Bernie's 2. Let's see. Did he do Weekend at Bernie's 2? First Blood, Weekend at Bernie's. He did not do the sequel. He
first directed movies in the 60s.
Yeah, and he directed Wake in Fright, which is a really terrifying movie. It's really good, but it's a scary film. About this guy who goes to Australia and gets into all kinds of crazy shit. It's really good, but and First Blood is a good movie too. So it's kind of wild. And Weekend at Bernie's is fun. So I'm really getting set up here for
and
something
Red Shoe
good.
Diaries.
Red Shoe Diaries.
I would love to see an episode with Robert Downey in.
No,
but he does all this, and he slowly goes into TV movie phase right about now here.
Yeah,
from being a feature film one. Does a movie called Cry Rape. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, seriously.
And then
you
goes
call
right
your
from
movie
that into that's his bona fides to get into SVU. And then like I said, if you're the guy who directed First Blood and then you fucking executive produced a Law and Order film series for 264 episodes, the checks you would get it'd be crazy. And he also produced The Check Is in the Mail because he knew what his future was. What the fuck is this movie about Borrowed Hearts about? I really don't want to talk about it, but it looks dumb.
Yeah, I have no clue, but very similar to our when we talked on the mini about a family Thanksgiving with Faye Dunaway. There's also a clip, or there's also an image floating around on Google of the Borrowed Hearts DVD that came with a bonus 10 holiday songs collection.
I bet it's the same fucking 10 holiday songs.
It probably is. It's probably all public domain music that...
it literally is the same graphic, so it has to be. Yep, it is the same 10 song. We Wish You Merry Christmas, We See Kings, Ave Maria. It's the same songs.
Amazing. It's funny too, because if you look at on IMDb, if you look at the soundtrack credits for Borrowed Hearts, it's all Christmas songs uncredited.
Wow. At some point, I almost have to get this CD somehow, or these MP3 audio files. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know what this is going to be about. I'm assuming that I
just punched the mic. I'm so shocked over this CD coming out twice in 1 year.
Do we think that the Borrowed Hearts part of the title is going to be literal?
Yes.
So do you think someone's going to need a heart transplant?
Here's why I think it's literal. As I segue perfectly into the IMDb keywords that we do, that everyone's favorite part of our show.
Yeah, we've got no feedback on whatsoever.
Everyone's favorite part of the show. Because one of the keywords is I cross my heart and hope to die.
Oh. Oh man, there is a great a ton of good keywords here, like pretend wife.
Pretend wife.
Oh my God! Reference to Herman Munster.
Reference to Herman Munster. What's the number one movie? Is it The Munsters? Borrowed Hearts is the number one movie for this.
Oh my God! We got one. We got a number one. Where did the Munsters even come into this? They don't. There's only 8 titles, and 2 of them are Svengoolie episodes.
God,
3 of them.
So here's like the most amazingly bad run of, and God knows I did an entire run last mini episode about evil uncles. But most amazingly bad run of keywords I think I've ever seen for one of these things that isn't a horror movie. And that is pretending to be married, pretend wife, deception, 7-year-old girl, young girl.
I feel like, all right, so we can definitely tell here from this because it happens a lot. There is climbing a tree, falling from a tree, catching someone who falls, girl falls, climbing. So I'm thinking that she climbs a tree, falls down, and like has to have a heart transplant. Someone falls down the stairs in this. They're falling down the trees, falling down the stairs.
If there was an amnesia one, I would say this is fucking like just one of the movies where like she gets amnesia and he pretends to like, yeah, you're my wife.
Oh God, you think that's going to be what it is?
But it would be in the keywords. Mansion is in the keywords, so that house is a main character. Pen as a gift. What is the number one movie for Pen as a gift?
Oh my God. Let me just say, and I don't want to seem borrowed hearts.
This is the best movie.
I don't want to seem ungrateful. If anyone ever got me a pen as a gift, because it has happened before, don't do that. I don't need it.
There was a time.
Did you get me a pen as a gift? I think you might have.
I might have to be an asshole to you. I have done a handful of gifts just to be an asshole to you. By the time you will have. By the time this episode drops, you will have received my Christmas gift to you, and you will have shit your pants.
I say same, my friend. You're gonna. This is why I need your lovely wife to record you when you open my gift to you
before I die, or
right.
shit my pants.
I need to see that look on your face.
What would the keywords be for that one? Catching someone who falls. There was a time for a while where because I hated work, and to make work more enjoyable, I decided everything I was going to write and sign, I was going to use the fanciest fucking pen I could find just to piss people off. Like literally, like have ink cartridge, like special ink cartridges, like the little fancy pens with you swoop and stuff. Like spend $70 on a pen and just have and just be working in this fucking factory in the office part, signing work orders with a fucking beautiful pen for no reason. And people go like, "Why do you have such a nice pen?" And go like, "Don't," and just look me in the face and go, "Don't you fucking steal my pen." Just to get through the day. I still wouldn't have wanted a pen as a gift.
So I think you're right. I think there might be something. So because we have single mother, we have absent father, we have the whole fake relationship, pretend wife thing. So I'm wondering.
Crying.
Also, there's also business deal. So I'm wondering if something has to happen where Eric McCormack's character has to be married in order to close a business deal, because the guy who's going to give him the promotion or go through with the deal has to he doesn't he's very traditional, so he has to have a wife.
Dad was fired from the cracker factory because he wasn't married anymore.
That's right. And they fake it so that, and then they of course fall in love as the movie goes on. So
here's two last keyword things I got to bring up before we go, because we don't want to talk about them all, but we almost have. There's 60 some of them. This movie has belief in angels as one of its keywords, but does not have angels as one of its keywords. So someone's going to believe in angels, but be given no proof of them. I'm
going to guess that one, because I was going to bring this up too. I think that's probably Hector Elizondo.
The way he's breaking the he's leaning against the fourth wall in a casual fashion. I could see that. And then
but he won't be an angel. They'll just think that he is.
They believe it. But it doesn't mean he is.
He'll be like, "This stupid idiots."
He's fucking idiots.
And he robs them at the end of the movie.
And then the most utter useless keyword I've ever seen. 2-word title. I know. I can see the words. I can count them. You don't need to put that there. That's like if you put a sign up and it said the word sign on it. Like, I fucking know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm intrigued by this one, and this one was actually
by this guy's hair, man. Oh,
well, there is a makeover. That is another keyword. So
there's like, man, you're always slicking your hair back. Fluff that shit out, man. You want to catch a lady, you got to make that salad just pop.
I'm looking forward to this one. This one was actually brought to us by a friend of the show, by a good friend of ours in real life, who we will be discussing this with. So next week on the show, when we talk about Borrowed Hearts, we're going to be joined by Megan Sunday from the podcast Let's Get Weirding. And she's a wonderful person, has been on the show before. We love Megan to death, and we're so excited to talk about this ridiculous looking movie with her.
Yeah, and if you don't think pin references will be made no matter what this movie is about, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'll probably be gross, but that's just par for the course, I think.
The funny thing is, the more wholesome the movie we do, and the more guests we have on, the fucking just the episodes just got to drag in the mud.
They definitely do, but they're better for it, I think.
Probably all that feedback like we get for how much everyone loves the keyword bit.
But until next week, when we are talking about Borrowed Hearts with our good friend Megan Sunday, I've been Josh.
I've been Skinner.
And we predict you'll join us.
I'm going to go find a thesaurus for more ways to explain someone's mullet.
If you like the show, subscribe, rate, and review us over at Apple Podcasts. We're on Twitter and Instagram at predictocast, and you can find our entire back catalog at predictocast.com. Our theme music is by Kyle Sledge. Find more of his work at soundcloud.com/geistmusic. As always, thanks for listening.